please turn your attention to the screen and turn your sound on, please?
In ServiceNow's realm, where code streams flow, Brad and Maria Gabriela lead the show. With UI Builder, creation's a delight, where drag and drop makes every screen bright. From visions to screens, the journey's a thrill. With widgets and layouts, flex your skill. Maria Gabriela weaves the tale in a world where design details prevail. Brad guides us through with expertise so grand in this digital landscape where ideas land. Each component placed a story it tells in ServiceNow's kingdom where innovation dwells. Welcome one and all to this vibrant hive. Join us at UI Builder Live.
Nice. That was even better than your rehearsals, Gabby. All right. So welcome to UI Builder Live. This is the show where we try to build something with UI Builder, and sometimes it works. So we'll start with some intros. Gabby, go ahead.
Hi, I am Maria Gabriela Perez-Wechter, and now I am a living proof as to why you shouldn't give your friends your AI voice. All right, I'm a product manager at ServiceNow.
Yes, my name is Brad Tilton. I am also a product manager on the Next Experience team at ServiceNow. And this is obviously a holiday-themed episode because it is our last episode of the year. So I've got my elf t-shirt. Well, it says raised by
cute.
Elf. Yeah. So
and I'm rocking my Pikachu.
Nice. Today, I believe we are going to do a part 2 of our work with the calendar component. And this time, since I just kind of gave up on the last episode, Gabby is going to show us how it actually works and how you do stuff with it.
Yes, let's go ahead and just jump into it then. So first, I want to show you guys what we've got so far. So this is actually a project that I'm working on for our team to have a more visual way to plan our enablement content and all the awesome stuff that we bring out to you guys, like this calendar component, UI Builder live stream. So I've got it I want to say I'm about 40% of the way done, because I just realized something funky that happens when you change time zones. So we're not going to touch that. But what we're going to work on today is this functionality here, this ability to drag and drop and create a new record, as well as see what the new button does. If you guys remember the mysteries of the new button that we discussed last time, I started getting this functionality in our calendar already. So I've got the ability to schedule new content. Let's see if it works. First, I'm going to search the series name, UI Builder Live, and I'm going to call this episode 74. And we're going to say it's on today at some time, because I don't know what time zone mine is set to, and I don't know what time zone the calendar is set to. So now I'm going to hit save, and we don't have it refreshing the calendar yet. So I'm going to hard refresh the page, and it should appear somewhere. It didn't appear anywhere. Fantastic. We are already starting off great. Why did that not work?
Should we look at how that works a little bit before?
Sure. And something, I'm just going to go ahead and open up my best friend browser tools, because I'm sure we're going to be here a lot. A nice little tip that I would suggest that you do if you're also having fun in UI Builder like I am, I created a test button that just logs all of my client state parameters, so I can just see them at any time without needing to do a bunch of logging anywhere. I just have them available for me at any time. So let's take a look and see the way that this works. So we've got Something that's kind of unfortunate is that the calendar component comes in and out of view. And for example, you can't preview the panels as you're working on them just yet. So you kind of have to click around a little bit blindly. So here's my content container, my schedule new content container. I've got my scheduling card. I've got the input series, the search that we have. Then we've got the input for the title, the start date time, the end date time, and then the save button. In our save button, if we go over to events, it's executing a data resource, create content on calendar. And we're giving it a whole bunch of client state parameters that we are setting with each of our input fields here. So for example, the start date time updates the client state parameter with the payload from the event, and we got new content start. So first, let's confirm that that part is working. I'm going to go ahead and search here. I'm going to name it please work. That's my favorite troubleshooting method. It always makes it work. And now that I've clicked off of those, my client state parameter should be filled in. So I'm going to go ahead and click here. And I'm going to take a look at, okay, I got new content title is filled in, new content start, the series sysid, the series, and the content end is all filled in. So everything should be fine. When I hit the save button, it executes the data resource. And if I look at the data resource, when it succeeds, it's going to update the client state parameter. Something else that I started doing, just as kind of my my little troubleshooting tips, is when operation failed, I have it fire off my test script, which my test button does. So that way I can immediately tell once it fails or if it succeeds. Because sometimes it might just be succeeding, but it might be that our events data resource isn't getting updated, which I could have sworn we had that happening. So let's go ahead and hit, well, first, because I added it there, I had to hit save. We're going to refresh and we're going to fill in the information again. No, Earl, we can't zoom in.
One of the things I like about this episode is that Lisa's watching and we're basically messing around with her app that she created that she is the primary user of. So she can give us some feedback on the fly, although we're all users of it now.
So check it out. My test script didn't fire off. So yeah, so my stuff is getting created actually. It's just, oh, what do I need to refresh on execution succeed?
Are you refresh? Yeah, you got to refresh the data you're feeding to the, but didn't it not show up when we did a refresh before? If you just refresh the page, it should be there.
Yeah, if we refresh the page, it should be there.
Oh, do a hard refresh. Or is it there now?
Oh. You know what I bet? Oh, this is gonna be funny. I probably put in the wrong date. 2023, 12/14, 11/03. No, nothing. Why isn't it showing up?
Was it not? Did it not then show up the second time? I thought it was there.
So we have two records we should be seeing, test and episode 74. So test shows up.
Test.
But episode 74 is nowhere to be seen.
Are the times the same?
Oh, I don't know what's going on with the times right now.
Lisa just said the start is after the end.
That would be very funny.
Of one of the events is the start after the end. Yes.
It is.
The calendar doesn't know how to do a negative, probably. You can't have an A.
That's what I was trying to do to get around the mandatory field, but I guess it's unique. That's a well-written app, Lisa. Thanks, Ailey. UI is our top priority here at UNI Builder. So here we go. Now it's actually showing up. So good news. It works when you provide it valid data. This is shocking. I know. But fantastic. Oh, ignore my, okay, I can zoom in here actually. That's going to be helpful. Ignore my little comments that I've got going on. I was troubleshooting the pop-ups. So anytime it opens, I have it telling me it opened. And anytime it closed, I have it telling me we closed it. Because I was getting desperate as to why they weren't working before.
I do stuff like that all the time. I'm always like, I should take this out so people don't know how my internal voice works. I use with myself.
So I thought that I wanted the schedule new content here, but I really don't like the UI of it. Plus, if I'm going to have a whole nother window that does it anyways, why don't I use the same functionality for the drag and drop and for the new button? Because it turns out they fire the same event. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a modal. Is there a reason I shouldn't do a custom modal, Brad?
I mean, the other ones would be if you really just need an alert or a confirm, it makes more sense to do that rather than build it from scratch. And then iframe is if you wanted to iframe in a jelly page, and then a viewport would be if you wanted to use a page collection.
Did you just say jelly page?
I did, yeah. So
What's
if
that?
you've already invested a lot into creating some custom UI, or maybe some person did it 8 years ago and you don't know where they are, or I'm not answering my email, then you use that page instead of trying to recreate it.
Nice. So we're going to go ahead and add your favorite component, stylized text.
All right.
And I'm going to just hide these guys for a second. We're going to select no, and we're going to rename it to modal header. Apply. And we're going to say schedule new resource. So we've got that. Oh, and it comes with a little, hang on. So then we're going to tie this event from the calendar. We're going to go to events, and we're going to add event mapping. And if I remember, it's called event context. Oh, hang on a second. Brad, buy me some time.
Grid clicked for a new event. Wasn't that it? Buy you some time. So this is this is kind of a part 2 on our calendar component. We did a part 1. I have no idea which episode it was, and we don't title them. So maybe somebody wants to look that up and stick it in the chat, and we'll put it in the show notes or something. But if you're wondering, how do I even get data into a calendar component? We did that on an episode, and basically you just have to provide it the right JSON structure, which I think we provided in that episode.
You are correct. It was grid clicked for new event. That felt kind of, I thought it was the other one, but nope, this is it. So we're going to go ahead, and there's an open or close modal dialog here. We're going to open, and we're going to select our modal, which I forgot to rename. Whoops. We're going to hit add, and then we're going to hit save. And now let's see what happens.
Now, Lisa also made a comment that she's going to change the data model of the dates at some point. So you're going to have to redo this.
What? No.
Just the data resources.
Oh.
That's it.
It's already been a nightmare to figure out how the date. Oh, okay, so some background. I literally had to make a custom data resource to figure out, to get it to work, actually, because the out-of-the-box one didn't want to work for me. Shout out to Ailey for helping your girl on that one. What was I naming this? Right. New resource modal. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to see if these buttons work.
So
we can talk more about the data later.
This looks like the modal pops, right?
Yes. If I did this right, the modal will show up. Well, hang on. If I did this right, the page will load. Okay, there we go. Whew.
No emojis.
There we go. Awesome. And now this? No. Oh.
Okay. Is it only if you move it?
Only if I click it. Interesting.
That makes sense, maybe.
But if I click and drag, that's a separate event.
So what happens if you click somewhere else on the page after you did that, like outside of the calendar? So there's something there.
So yeah, there's a different event. It's where is it? It's drag or something. Drag end for new event. I think that is the one we want. Whoops, open or close modal. And we're going to select the new resource modal, and we're going to hit save.
Hopefully the payloads are the same.
I think the payloads are going to be different because this one will provide a date. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, this one will provide times while this one won't. That's not going to bite us later. Let's continue. So
should we just check it right now?
Good point. So we're looking at drag end for new event and grid clicked for new event. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the little eye icon and we're going to open the documentation. And we're going to go to UIB setup and scroll to the very bottom. Drag end for new event. And the payload has start and end. And then grid clicked for new. Oh, they throw the same.
Are they named the same? New start MS, new end MS?
Yeah, they're named the same.
Group is the only session ID. I don't even know what that means. So
which we're not using sections. So awesome, we're good to go. Let's go ahead and add a component here. Now I want to get my search functionality going again. And you said there was a different search component I should use?
Oh, there's the type ahead search.
Oh, that's why I couldn't find it because I was looking for
it's only type ahead.
Oh, okay. So let's see. I want medium.
We're gonna have to look up the. Let me see if I can find the JSON structure.
Oh, so to look at the JSON structure, we're gonna look at the schema here.
Oh, it tells us. That's great.
Yeah, it has a schema. This has been really helpful, actually. And it tells you at the very end which ones are required.
Nice.
So we've got ID, label, sublabel. Oh, wait, why does it have avatar props? Oh, because it's for users.
Well, it's the type ahead. And so the way that it works is there's an image on the very left you can use. And then there's like a title and a subtitle.
Oh, interesting. Let me see what my current data resource puts out, though. I have a lookup series one. And we've got description and sysid is what I currently am putting out. So should I create? I should just script this. Oh no, we're going to script this. Let's go ahead and do it live. This is like top 10 worst, most scary things in the world, having a code in front of people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I always do. Cheat off myself, which means I cheated off of Brad first. So let's see. I'm going to go back to the type ahead. And I've got the information that my thing is given here. And we're going to look at the list item. We're going to switch it to script. And then I'm going to look at my script on the side and just grab stuff that I find useful. So we're going to grab the array, lookup series. See how helpful it is to name your data resources? Results. Awesome. What's the chat saying, Brad? While I type this stuff up.
We have, is it possible to use the agenda contextual view as a standalone component? Maybe. So part of the calendar component. You'd have to play around with it and see if there's a property that lets you hide part of it. So if the question is, can I pull out part of a component and use it by itself? The answer is no. If the component has some sort of property that lets you toggle something to where it only shows the agenda view, then yes.
All that they're asking for is just, let's go ID and label.
Yeah, sublabel and props.
So we've got
And we're doing this because the output of our data resource is not the right format for this property. So we could do this, or we could have used like a scriptlet data resource and translated the initial data resources to something we wanted to use. And I would say one of the difference would be if we wanted to use this same object in multiple places, you'd probably want to do that at the data resource level rather than having to do this multiple times. Or you could write it to a client state parameter.
awesome. In the chat, place down your odds, your bets to see if it worked.
You're returning a string.
I'm returning a string. Oh no. Oh. That would have been, man, you ruined the game for the people.
Sorry. That looks like it could work.
Allegedly. Okay, we've got that there. Nope. So let's see what we've got. Let's see if this says if any other ones are. Because something schema down here shows required as children. So we need ID label. Is it?
You don't need any children, I don't think.
Yeah, so I'd say it looks weird. Let's map out. Let's log what we're putting out.
I don't know if it's going to log it from here.
No?
Can't remember.
We've got this right. Correct arrays and object. Series arrays there.
I mean, you can, what you can do is if you hit apply, we can use the dev tools and look at what the value of the property is on the rendered page. I think you're gonna have to zoom out.
The value of the property, but I'm not, oh, never mind. I guess it's not a client state.
Yeah, so it's a component property. So the easiest way that I have found to find that is to right click on the input and do inspect element. It's real hard to find it through the and then it's got that CLQ the CLQ5PK. That's if you just copy that, and then go back to the and then I think that's it. Yeah. So what is it? Source, you want properties. Where are the properties?
No, this is the containers.
Oh,
okay, this one is.
We probably got the wrong one. Oh, maybe you need the whole thing. Yeah.
There we go. Almost. No.
It's something there.
So we've got the input ID.
I don't know. You can find it the other way. It's just harder. This was supposed to be the easy way.
Why won't it type? Technical difficulties. It just does. There we go. My computer's rebelling because I haven't reset it in like weeks. There we go. Now type ahead. Right. Boom.
Items. No, that's not the right. That's not the one we're using though. Isn't the property we're using called list items? Maybe it's the same one, but yeah, I don't think it looks like this is the dummy data.
This is. Oh yeah, it doesn't show the ones that we have because it shows 0 items. I was looking at the schema to make sure we were returning the right thing.
But shouldn't we be returning multiple items?
We should be several multiple items, but it looks like it's not at all.
Yeah, so ours isn't working. So list items. If you scroll up, what other properties are there?
Scroll up where?
On the properties. because that property used to be called just items in a previous release. So I wonder if we have the right one on the.
Whoops. Here?
No, sorry, in UIB on the component properties. Is there a different? So scroll up more. No, I think that's the right one.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Let's look at the script one more time, and then we can add some logging.
Sorry, Brad. I hate to break it to you. I already added a console log.
Nice. Does it work?
I don't know. No, it doesn't. How do we add logging?
Oh.
So we do get there, but we're getting an undefined for the series array itself. Look up series.results. That looks right to me.
Let's try this from. Let's try it from a client script. You want to try it, add it to your test client script? Just this whole, yeah. See if it
This
works.
part?
The whole. I guess instead of returning that, let's just log it. But yeah. And I think you end up with an extra, yeah.
Oh, right. Test.
Yeah. Still undefined.
Undefined.
Let's go back and look at the name of your data resource.
Yeah.
Look up series.
Look up series results.
The lookup theories is only being called when invoked, so it's the data doesn't exist when we're trying to access it.
And the script doesn't invoke it?
No. Well, I mean, you have to tell it. We're just trying to access data in the data API, and it doesn't exist there yet because we're not invoking the.
Oh, at all.
So
can I do like an unload?
That to immediately. Yeah, just switch it from only when invoked to immediately. Yeah. So now it'll go on page load, or if we refresh it. Good job, Ailey.
When did I invoke it in the other one then?
She saved us. You might have done it from the script or from the event on the.
Oh, I did. Wow. Magical. Ha!
Hey!
Magic. Woo!
All right.
Man, I can't tell you how many times Ailey has saved me. Awesome. Let me fix my little test script now that we've got that and remove all the console logging out of everywhere. And now, here it is. So type ahead looks a lot better than what I did originally, which was iterate through a bunch of buttons.
I kind of liked that. It was kind of neat the way it worked. Although this is probably a lot easier to set up.
Way easier. The hoops I had to jump through to get the other one to work were awful. Okay, actually, let's not forget to add
how do we write the thing that you selected to the client state parameter?
What'd you say?
We got to fire an event, right, that writes the value to a client state parameter. Or are we not there yet?
Right. Right.
I think there's more, right? Yeah. Selected item set is, I believe, the right one.
Updating client state parameters is really easy, actually. I need to look at I wish I could do that without it closing it.
Or maybe it is value set. Yeah, it is value set.
You said?
Value set, I think, is the one we want.
Name and value. Name and value. So and then I want to add a second one because I have the series sys ID. And that should be value.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we got the type ahead there for the series search. And now I want...
Should we test if that works?
Okay.
Just to make sure that our payload is correct.
Why would we ever want to do that? Man, this test script is so handy.
That is cool. I never even thought to do that, and now I'm using it.
Oh, I typed it in. I didn't. Don't look.
It's not dynamic.
You didn't see that. I wish it didn't let you do that.
Sneak peek. This gets much easier and more obvious in Washington. Safe harbor.
Safe harbor. Earl, quick, safe harbor. I can't believe Earl didn't make my AI voice read out the entire safe harbor statement.
Oh, no, please. We don't have enough time. That's the way we'll start next time. We'll have 3 minutes to do the show.
Oh. It doesn't return the sys ID.
You and I both.
It returns the value of what we're giving the other thing.
What did we map there?
Well, we did ID. So we are giving it the ID.
That should be the sys ID.
But it's not giving it to us. I think I'm just gonna, well, no, never mind. I can't set the client state parameter from here because it's just looping.
Yeah, can you look at your data resource again?
Yeah.
So we do have sysid, and we have description.
Yeah, but the log shows the word series. I feel like it's giving us the value of the label. So like if I do this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, why is it doing that? Can you just log out the whole payload? Because there may be more stuff in the payload than what is documented.
Hi, Brad.
Yeah.
Remembering how to log out.
So you need a client script that logs event.payload and then add that to the event. And then you need to add it to the event.
That might help. Oh my gosh, I think my husband's making dinner and it smells amazing.
Ooh.
Me too, Chris. I too am only here for the memes.
What? Name and value.
Oh, hang on. Why don't we do this? Oh,
I think there may be something to do with that selected item. Should we skip setting the series? I think this this type ahead search is going to have just a little bit more to it than we can figure out on this show. Should we skip the series and just have it create a short description and date?
Sure. I'm just gonna have it do this. Do. Oh no, I don't know how to get a sysid from this. I think that's how I can get it. We're just going to hard code that. And then I'm going to forget about that. And then I'm going to wonder why everything has the same series. But that's all right.
All right.
So let's go ahead and add an input. And we're going to name it new series name, or rather new resource name. And then this is going to set input value, input. Yeah, input value set. And I'm going to have that update the client state parameter. Content
may contain forward-looking statements. These statements are intended to be covered by the safe harbor provisions contained in the U.S. Private Securities Litigation Reform Act of 1995. These statements reflect the current beliefs of ServiceNow and are based on
it's not. Things are actually way more scary when your producer's a mad lad.
Did it say ServiceNow?
Yeah, it can't say ServiceNow. It says ServiceNow.
Oh, great.
I'm just going to have that like running in the background of all of my presentations now.
Available to the company as of the date.
So we've got the input, and then we've got this, and I'm just going to go ahead and hit a
that occur or circumstances that exist after the date on which they were made.
add after
statements in this
button
are subject to various risks and uncertainties that could
and we're just going to skip ahead to the end
and results to differ materially
and pretend
from those
you can't, labels are unique.
Further information on
that makes sense.
That could affect
Wait.
the company's financial and other results
Oh, yeah.
included in the filings we make with the Securities and Exchange
When that gets
Commission from time to
fired,
time,
I want
including
my
those discussed in our most recent annual report on Form 10-K.
here we
There's
go.
some sort of subliminal message happening here.
Features or functionality is intended.
Yeah. State dot new content title. This sometimes happens and it drives me crazy. We're going to go ahead and apply and save.
Do we have to give it a table or does it know?
Pretty sure I hard-coded it. Oh, no, I didn't. I guess not.
I don't know if your data resource just did it automatically since it's all in the same table.
I wouldn't assume anything. You want to see the simplest data resource on the planet? Like, I thought I was going to have to do a whole bunch of troubleshooting. So I set like 47 variables. And then in the end, it just worked on the first try.
It's rough when you're so prepared for it not to work. And then it probably has something to do with how organized you are with setting.
It's just baby's first data resource. The properties are longer than the script. So here we go. Let's see what happens. We're going to hit new. I didn't even rename the button.
You renamed the component, but not the label.
Very nice. So let's see if that created it. Nope, it did not create it. Oh, wait, it may have.
There's a little refresh icon. It's real fancy.
Well, this only shows my stuff.
Oh, that's right. If you do show all.
Yeah, show. I'm not going to show all on stream. But let me see if it created it.
Does the series sysid matter? That shouldn't matter, right?
The series sysid is what makes it so.
The chat thinks you grabbed the wrong sysid to hard code.
The chat. Oh, I probably grabbed the experiences sysid or something like that. That would be funny. Let me grab it while I am over here.
I guess while you're doing that, if you think that the date component is hard to use, we are doing some work in terms of both documentation for the date not the date.
The date component.
No, the date component's new. For the calendar component, we're doing some documentation work, making that better, and then we're also doing some work on the component itself.
Functionality is intended.
That's a me.
Our general product direction and should not be.
And that's me too. Let's see. I never set an owner to these. I should probably set that when I create a new one, huh? Okay, let's see if that worked. Well, it didn't set the short description, and it didn't set anything else, but it sure created a record, so I am counting that as a victory.
Lisa's probably on the back end right now setting some more mandatory fields. Like, if this is how people want better data.
But hey, look, to prove I could do it, it works from here. Success, though. I hope that that demystified a few things about the new button. And maybe next time we'll show you guys how the pop-ups work, because that was a lot of fun configuring. Or maybe you can suggest a different component for us to keep documenting in the comments.
And so to recap, it was the new button just connects to one of the events that the component fires. And it's not obvious what the event is.
Correct. So that was the whole thing we were missing last time when we looked at this, is that the new button pops off the
grid clicked for new
for new event.
It does have new in the name of the event, so maybe the joke's on us. I don't know.
True, you know, it's the new button, the new event. We should have connected those dots, frankly. But I am so glad that we figured that one out. Is there any last things you wanted to check, or are we ready to close it out?
I think we're good. I think we're ready to close it out.
I kept trying to hint to Earl to close the window, but he just refused. So I didn't know how to segue into the end of the show. So please, Brad, take over.
I think you gave him too much time to do something with your voice by the end of the show.
I made a mistake.
We'll close it real fast so he doesn't have time. So I just want to, this is our last show of the year. I don't know how many we've done, but we want to say thank you to everybody who has watched all year or part of the year or any of the shows. It's always fun hearing the nice feedback from everybody when we see you in person or online. So it's been fun for us, and hopefully somebody has got something out of it at some point. But thanks, Gabby, for presenting today. And I think, when is our next episode?
I have no idea. Oh, wait, our next episode.
Yeah.
When is our next episode, or what is our next episode?
When? No, not what. We have no idea.
Okay, good. No, our next episode is going to be January 11th. Join us at the same time, same place for I don't know what. I'm sure we'll figure it out sometime in the next 3 weeks.
Maybe a page collection. We'll see.
Maybe. See you guys next year. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.